Okay, perfect. Well, Tichina Arnold, I just want to let you know it is a pleasure of mine. You are a legend. You don't understand when this opportunity came to my inbox, I almost screamed out loud.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. What did you scream? How did you scream? Show me how you screamed.
I said almost screamed out loud, so I did it.
Okay, you almost did. Okay.
Almost, it was an inner scream. Well, I just want to get into, Oh Baby Baby and you directing it. Can you give me a little background about your experience directing and, what does this film mean, this short film mean to you actually as well?
Well, it was my first, well, not my first opportunity, but the first time that I took the opportunity to be able to direct. So it was basically my directorial debut. And I think, for the longest time, I've been, asked like, you should direct, like, you should do this, you should do that. So I finally, my sisters, like prompted me for the past, 10 years, like, you really should direct. So I finally took the opportunity when this opportunity came along with BT, her and Tessa, to be able to, direct something that is real, something that of course is relatable because a lot of women go through it. And so it was just a good opportunity, good timing. And then, I was in between, I was on hiatus from the neighborhood. So I had time, to be able to do it.
Nice. What is something that you learned that you like? Do you want to direct more? Is there something that you have to like pull a different muscle out of acting? Because your IMDb credits range everywhere. There is nothing we have not seen you. I'm not aging you. I'm not going to say my age. I'm just going to say I've seen you since I've been small.
Well, you already aged me when you called me a legend. So, that kind of gave it away. That kind of gave it away. No, but I've always, I realized I was into directing when I started watching directors because I've been in the industry since I was 11 years old, literally. I've been singing since I was 3, started off in the church. By the time I got turned 11, I was literally, working on stage, full on working. And by the time, I would say after I was off of Martin for a few years, I was like, you know what? I think I should direct. I think directing would be a good look for me. And then my sister started managing me about 13, 15 years ago, something like that. And she was like, you should direct. So then I started getting people, other actors and other directors saying, Tichina, you should try directing. So when everyone started talking about it, it kind of manifested itself. And I think from watching and working with so many people for so long, it just became second nature to me. So now I'm learning the semantics of directing, but I think I know overall how to do it. And I'm very comfortable with doing it because I've been around it so long. And I think that is pure testament to me sustaining a career so long in show business is because I've worked with so many different people and I've had my hand in on a lot of things and I get firsthand knowledge of these things. So it was just time. It was just time. So I think I have the muscle for it.
Nice. I love that. There in Hollywood, there's this like emergence of Black women directors, from you making your directorial debut to you think about Issa Rae, Sally Richardson, all of what do you think? Why do you think that is? Because when Black women direct any type of show, you see it go the nines. There's never a show that's directed by a Black woman or movie where it tanks. It's just something about Black women and directing that, just there's a magic.
Well, it allows us to tell our own stories. See, we, for so long, we, being an actor is told what to do. I tell everybody, I bring the black and white pages to life. That is my job, to bring characters to life, to bring the storyline to life, and to convey that on screen. But when you're on screen, but for so long, you get a chance to see firsthand how everything operates. So some people, after a while, they're like, wait a minute, I could do that. So it's kind of a no-brainer and a natural evolution into going from in front of the camera to behind the camera, because you do become more invested with you know, who you are as a person in the industry. And I believe that we should tell our own stories. We should direct our own stories and other people's stories. You know what I mean? So I think it's the time for it. It's the time. It's the, you know, women, it's the age of the woman, you know, mother nature, mother earth is ready for us. You know, she always has been. So I think it's just important for women to be involved in every aspect of their lives. So even with me directing Baby, Oh Baby Baby, which was my 20-minute film short about breast cancer, I mean, what better woman to direct it than a Black woman? You know?
No,
and these are Black female stories as well. So
exactly.
It's about Black women who really went through these horrible events, you know, of having to deal with breast cancer, mental illness. Yeah, so it's important that we tell our own stories.
Nice. I love that because especially when I looked at the screener for it, you know, I'm 34. My mom passed away when I was 14 of pancreatic cancer. So
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I see how it can, I see how that can affect, you know, just especially it's last year we did a Real Black Men Wear Pink. We had 16 Black men wear pink and we did a whole like photo shoot campaign and then
wow.
American Cancer Society. And then we worked with Susan G. Komen. I was on their podcast. And the reason I want to bring this up is because I don't know if you know when like, you know, we're studying, you know, how to really direct this type of short, especially around breast cancer. African-American women actually have a more aggressive breast cancer than any race and gender. And a lot of people don't know that. So based off of usually detected too late, based off of how aggressive it is, it's like, you know, something like this is so important. So first, I'm going to give you kudos for that. And then two, how would you go through the mindset of making sure that you could take a 20-minute short film and direct it in a way where it's going to have this positive, powerful, and impactful message? That was a lot.
No, but you see how, because you experienced firsthand losing someone that's close to you, like your mother is the closest thing to you, and you know your parents. So it's losing a parent. You know, you lost a part of yourself when you lost her. So what better way to honor her than do something? And so you did what you could, and you arranged the whole breast cancer and putting the men in pink. So doing that, you're giving homage. You're also helping heal yourself from the loss of your mother. So it's important that, like I said, we tell our stories. We tell our own stories, because I lost my aunt years ago when technology wasn't as advanced as it is. And, you know, we lost my aunt to breast cancer as well. So she didn't have the chance to go through the mastectomy stage or to go through the chemotherapy stage, like, because it took her out so quickly. And I know somebody right now, very close to me, I just don't want to name who they are because they just literally got out of surgery from getting a mastectomy. So the breast cancer has ravaged our Black community, Black female community. And not only should we talk about it, we got to fight. We got to fight. And we have to fight. I fight for health. You know, my sister has lupus. We have a lupus foundation that we try to help people with autoimmune diseases. So breast cancer is not too far from me fighting for that. We go through all of these things that we really have to fight for. We have to fight. So I try to teach people good health. I'm 53 now. I gotta eat right. I try to eat right. You know what I mean? You gotta take care of your body, and your body will take care of you. But of course, we have a lot of things that is in the atmosphere. You know, we have chemtrails. We have our bodies were not meant to have to deal with all of these issues. So unfortunately, we're dealing with a pandemic of cancer, and we just got to fight it as best as we can, as hard as we can.
Oh, that's beautifully stated. Now, you know, getting into more of Tichina as a director, tell me what that looks like. You know what?
I'm bossy. I'm very bossy.
I'm saying I'm going to be sitting. Am I going to be sitting here like, let me hurry up? Let me make sure I don't skip no lines. Don't improv.
No. You know what it is? I was told when I did this, when I directed Oh Baby Baby, my film short, I noticed that I'm more of a actor's kind of director. I'm about the performance. You know, all the other stuff I care about as well, the tech, but you know, people are paid to do the technical part. So I let everybody play their roles. I just want to make sure that I get the best out of the actor, so we can convey the message as best as we can. So it is believable, you know, and it's not acting, but it's believable. And Edwina Finley did an amazing job on my short. Amazing job.
Nice. I love that because the thing about this story is like on set with Tichina. And how would you make me pull it out of me that, like, you know, if I'm on set with you, how do you make that actor? If you're looking, you're like, hey, I know you're good, you've been working, but you're not giving me what I want. So let's push the ego aside, but I'm looking for a little something more. How do you get that?
Well, that's the number one thing, putting your ego aside. And I actually just shadowed one of our directors, Victor, on The Neighborhood. And he said, Tichina, the number one thing about directing is putting your ego to the side, because, you know, you have to be able to convey what you want to someone else, to another individual. So what I would do is just sit there and watch you a little bit. I would learn your personality a little bit, and I would learn how to approach you. And then I would just give you an example of what it is that I want. So if I wanted you to be sad, I'll just be like, you know, well, look, what was the last thing that made you sad? So as you're doing this scene, think about that as you're doing the scene. Because a lot of times you don't have anything to tap into sometimes, you know, because if you're actors don't always go through whatever subject matter they're talking about. A lot of times you like clues, like, hey, I've never, you know, done that before. So what can I do? So I'll just give you different examples of what and how you can pull from it. But I like believability. I want to make sure that whatever is on that screen, that whoever is watching believes what we're presenting.
Nice. I love that. Can you give the readers a little bit of a kind of a synopsis of what you hope that they take away from with this short? You know, not from the you know, hey, this is X, Y, Z, but what Tichina says, I want someone to take away from this. I want you to walk away going, huh.
You could survive. You could get through it. You could get through it. Like, I'm all about no fear, no matter what you're going through in life. Once you carry fear, you will lose. You have to learn how to not let fear take over your life, whatever situation you're in. We have to learn how to be fearless. We have to learn how to persevere. Look what the Black community is still going through. Mm-hmm. Got to be able to persevere. And then, you know, we deal with the actual problem at hand. So that's why I told you, you know, there's a way that you could kind of avoid going down the cancer line, and that is eating right. Do everything for your body and for your life that will avoid all of the, you know, toxic things that we're eating, and avoid, you know, there's a lot of stuff that we can't avoid. You know, the air is horrible now. You know, we have less trees, less nature is just, you know, it's just a lot of bad things happening. So we got to be able to circumvent those things and operate not with fear, but with fearlessness, and persevere.
Nice. I love that. We have 5 minutes left. I always like to be conscious of everyone's time. How do you sustain such a longevity in this industry, especially as a Black woman? And, you know, and so many people get worried about being typecast, or, you know, or not getting the roles or everything. But, you know, you've been able to play different roles. It does not matter from Pam to Chris Rock Mama. These are not different people, though the energy and the spunk you bring to it with calls for it. Those roles are never similar, where it's like, man, Tichina's playing Tichina. It's like, man, he's playing Pam. Like, you know, Tichina is playing, you know, it's like, that's what I get when I see you on my screen.
Well, I just always insert a little bit of myself and my own personality into whatever role I'm playing, because I want you to believe that I am who I am at that given moment. So, I mean, that's the trick of acting, you know, you got to be believable. So I always, like, even when I did Everybody Hates Chris, when I played Rochelle, I was a new mother. And it was the first time I played a mother. So, you know, in the industry, once you play a mother, you're going to always play a mother. And that's exactly what happened. So, and even on Martin, I was typecasted on Martin. After Martin, I didn't work a long time. I couldn't, you know, I didn't land a steady role for almost 10 years after that. So, because you do become typecasted, but that's what I'm telling you, where that fearlessness comes in. I think I've sustained my career this far is because I'm able to work with anybody.
Yeah.
I'm able to work with anybody. You know, there's some people that, you know, not wrapped too tight. You know, there's some people that are a little more difficult than others to work with, but we're all human, and we all have personalities. We all have our downfalls. We all have our different, you know, personality traits. But I think God has blessed me with the ability to really deal with anybody. And I think that's where it starts, because for me, being in show business, it's not about being a star. I don't give a damn about being a celebrity. I really don't. What I give a damn about is doing good work, because God has blessed me to do what I love doing. So I honor that. I respect it. I like making people laugh. When you laugh, that's part of your healing. So that's why I always call, you know, me being in show business, me being entertainer, that is my ministry. I don't minister in the church. I minister to people through my entertainment.
Nice. I love that. Last question, because I love everyone to get really big and inspired. This next issue we have coming out, we have Dominique Perry. And when we offered her the cover, it was funny because she's like, oh my gosh, I thought I was just a feature. I said, but you represent what the Hollywood dream really is for people. You know, you haven't landed certain things that you thought you should, but you persevere. And I said, that's the most Hollywood story than anything, because there's more of you than more of the others. And I think it's so important for people to see that representation at times, you know. And with you, what advice would you give to those people that just still aren't landing, still aren't hitting it, you know, and that's just like, oh my gosh, I need to go back to Iowa. I need to go back to Atlanta. This is not it for me, because I've been here 5 years and I've been just background, or I had one good show, but it got canceled.
Well, you got to be honest with yourself as well. It's like, if you're not in love with it, if you're not enjoying what you do, then don't do it. And a lot of people are in show business. They forget that it's a business and you have to handle it and treat it like a business. You are your entity, your body, your talents, your gifts is a brand. Mm-hmm. And how do I present that brand? How do I take care of that brand? What do I put into that brand? And a lot of times I think people get in the industry because they see the results of the industry. They see the end results. And that is, you know, the actual, you know, movie. You see the end results, but what it took to get to those end results. A lot of people they can't hack it. They can't hack it. You got to be used to being told no. You got to be used to being told you're not good enough. You got to be used to. So that's what here we go back to the fearlessness. You have to be confident in yourself enough that you can present your brand and you could sell your brand and not prostitute yourself, not sell yourself short. Put yourself in high regard, pay attention to it, culminate it, cultivate it, put it in a place where it will bring you blessings. It will feed you eventually. It will give back to you. You give to it, it'll give back to you. But there are a lot of people that I think that are not honest with themselves. And those are the ones that don't make it.
Nice. I love that. No, this has been great. Thank you. This has been a pleasure. I'm excited to write this up. If you have any questions for me before we end.
No, I'm good. Listen, I commend you for putting who did you say the young lady was that you put on the cover?
Her name is Dominique Perry.
Dominique Perry. I commend you for doing that. See how what you did, you stepped up her game as well.
Yeah.
See, by putting her on the cover. So you gave someone else an opportunity. And that's what it takes. We have to help each other. We deserve it. Don't you think we deserve to take care of each other?
We definitely do. Definitely do. We have to. It's a must, especially because no one else is going to do it unless they can profit off of it. They only
exactly.
Profit off of
it. So no, we got to get out of that. It's time for us to be able to do for ourselves, and doing for each other is doing for ourselves.
Well, thank you so much, Tichina. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Great week. Thank you. And I'll send the write-up to your team before publishing
Okay.
anything just so that you're loving the narrative. If there's something that's inaccurate, but I do triple double checks, but just in case.
Oh yeah, you know, my publicist's line will be all over your ass.
I would just tell Lana to write it there. Lana, look, here's the recording. Go ham, just go try to put the name at the
Gee, I
bottom.
don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my
That's
God.
the thing. I do not mess with Black women publicists. They are the
Oh, listen, and that world is no joke. Oh my God, I don't know how they do it. That world is
That
not
love.
easy. But thank you for having me. I appreciate you, Michael. You keep going. Be blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you,
too.
Michael, and we will definitely be following up with you and everything that you need now that you and I are connected, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right. Have
All
a
right,
good one.
cool.
Blessings.
Bye.